Hi guys, welcome to the F1 Debate Show, and in this episode we are going to be talking a bit about Spa-Francorchamps, which is the circuit for the Belgian Grand Prix this weekend. We are going to be talking about the F1 2016 game that was released by Codemasters on Friday the 19th of August, which was last week. Get you our opinions on it, and if you haven't got it out there, we'll talk about why you should get it, what's good and what's bad about it. And we'll also talk about the tyre compounds that are confirmed for Monza, which is the Italian Grand Prix, the next round after Belgium. Now, I'll start off this video to give you some facts on Belgium. As you know, the Belgian Grand Prix, like it has for many years, is run at Spa-Francorchamps. Now, Spa has been on the calendar since 1950, since Formula One's inauguration. It's one of only 4 tracks in Europe to be on the Formula One calendar since 1950, and that is Spa at Belgium, Silverstone Circuit in Great Britain, which hosts the British Grand Prix, the Autodromo di Monza, which hosts the Italian Grand Prix in Italy, and the Monte Carlo Street Circuit, which hosts the Monaco Grand Prix. So it's been on the calendar since 1950. This is the 66th edition, but it's been on the calendar it's been run for motorsport events for 91 years. Obviously, before 1950, Formula One wasn't called Formula One, so it's celebrating this year its 91st birthday. So happy birthday, Spa. It's the longest circuit on the calendar at 7 kilometres. Obviously, it was longer back in the day, but it's been shortened, like how many tracks have, like Hockenheim. 44 laps around the 7 kilometre circuit make a race distance for this year of 308 kilometres. It has 5 high-speed stretches, 3 slow turns, and 2 ideal spots for overtaking. That is at the end of the Kemmel Straight, heading into the very fast chicane. Speeds can be up there around 300 kilometres an hour. It's also where Mercedes had their collision in 2014 with Lewis Hamilton's puncher. And the second ideal spot for overtaking is Max Verstappen's very famous Blanchimont, and that's where he did his very famous overtake on Sauber driver Felipe Nasser in 2015's Belgian Grand Prix, which was amazing. 17 years old at the time. So they are the facts of Spa for the circuit for the Belgian Grand Prix. I mean, it has so much pedigree, so much legacy. It really is unbelievable. If you haven't already, go and please check out our preview that came out, and obviously where we talk about this weekend that we're in at the moment. So yeah, it's all good.
It is, yeah. I cannot wait for this weekend. Loads of thrills, loads of spills. Obviously, we said all of that in the preview, and obviously, well done, LC, giving us all the facts and the data that you will need for this weekend. So, but on to more, I'll probably say more serious news now, because this week, F1 2016 came out in the UK.
It did.
And I know it hasn't been released in other countries as of yet. And we are here to basically give you the rundowns and give you our opinions. Now, I'm probably aware that you've probably seen gameplay and how it works and stuff, but I'm sure you want to hear as many opinions as you want. Obviously, me and Elsie have both played this game, and my verdict of this game, and I think I want to give it an 8 out of 10, definitely, because in my opinion, F1 2015 was a shamble, basically.
It was.
You know what I'm like. I hated it. Yes, I did hate it. Honestly, I really, really did. There was just nothing to it. The graphics were good. They were amazing, but there was no career mode. There was no safety car. There was no classic mode. There was nothing. There was no reason to play it. No. Honestly, wasn't, unless you were an F1 gamer who wanted to make content for his viewers. Then fair enough. But if you weren't, then why play it? Yeah. But when I heard what they were doing for 2016, I was super excited. You know, career mode is back. The safety car's back. Introducing a virtual safety car, 10-season career mode. Let's not forget a multi-championship online mode, in just loads of improvements left, right, and centre. And I got the game. Well, I got the code. Put it on my PC, played it this week, and it is absolutely fantastic. Really, really good. The graphics are good, the sounds are good. Yep. I love how real it feels. Obviously, the paddock view is back for the first time since F1 2011. That is amazing. Practice as well. You got more in depth in practice because you got to do your, I think it's your tyre test, and also you've got to do like cornering tasks to do throughout the practice sessions, and also your qualifying pace as well. And again, just usual Q3 and race running. Obviously, onto the race, you've got your 3 different compounds of tyres which you can choose. You know, go like aggressive, calm, or moderate. You know what I mean? Just depending on how many compound of tyres you want. It is really, really in depth. It is really, really good, and I am a very big fan of it. And Elsie, obviously, you've got the game. What's your overall opinion on this game?
I mean, it was absolutely unbelievable. This was my because obviously F1 2015 came out on the Xbox One. So I never got F1 2015 when it came out. I never waited till the release date because I only had an Xbox 360 at that point. When I got F1 2015, I knew everyone was saying that it wasn't a great game. The graphics weren't very good, as JT said. But F1 2016 is unbelievable. Obviously, the first big thing is it's a career mode. Into F1 2015, it was just not very good. I mean, obviously, it's a career. It's not real. It's your made-up avatar. But to think that, obviously, I was playing as Daniel Ricciardo at Red Bull Racing. JT, you were playing as Sebastian Vettel, is that right, at Ferrari? And, I mean, obviously, you might have been at Red Bull Racing. Obviously, like, I would want to be, and obviously, JT might have been driving for Ferrari. But it just wasn't, maybe as, like, user-friendly, if you like. Obviously, having career mode is back. You're allowed to choose yourself, or you're allowed to be yourself, like you have been in 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But obviously, unlike that, you can choose the picture of your avatar, like the facial, like beads and stuff. You can choose that. You can just customize it a lot more, which just feels just better. You are playing as your character that you want. So that is really good. JT said it's paddock. You're back in the paddock like you were in 2011. Now, obviously, it's been we've come a long way since 5 years ago in 2011. Obviously, that was only a little trailer. You're back, but you're almost like in the it's like the trailer parks, the outback,
the motorhome, really.
The motorhomes, that's right, yeah. Obviously, I'm driving for Haas, so it's got a Hassy feel around it. Obviously, there's loads of H's on and everything like that. JT, you're Manny, yeah? Is that right?
Yes, I'm a Manny.
It feels really, really good. There's so much interaction. I love JT. You've got the driving, but obviously, as you know at this point, like for example, the games like Call of Duty, for example, it's not just shooting anymore. You've got like a wide variety of things. In F1, for example, like when you're in the motorhomes, you haven't just got your laptop and the fundamentals. You've got everything else. You've got a voicemail. You've got people coming up to you and talking to you. You've got a rivalry. Just how much do you love that? I find it unbelievable. It's not just driving. It's just everything else. I love that. I love listening to the voicemails. If I've got it on silence, if I'm doing something, if I'm watching like telly or something in the background, I will always, play that. I'll listen to the voicemails, and I just love that. Isn't it great, JT?
It's fantastic. I mean, it's more strategic as well. Also, like in previous F1 games, you just go into career mode. I would imagine everyone skipped practice because there was no purpose to practice. You do qualifying and then the race, and that was pretty much it. You would do. Obviously, there wasn't really much strategy as well in terms of tyres. You would just kind of pit whenever you kind of felt like it in a way. But then also, whereas now, you can actually change the strategy during the race, which is obviously absolutely fantastic as well. Just which is something you would actually really do. I actually did that for my first race with Mana, and actually it worked quite well. No, it wasn't my first race; it was my second race. Sorry, and it worked quite well, to be fair. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give it a try. I think I was on the softs. And they were holding on quite well, so they actually put me on the mediums to do a one-stop. I went for a two-stop. So they put me on a one-stop very early on in the race. I took the risk. I came about 16th, I think, as well. I think I was 20th at the time or something, so it did play quite well, but it's all that to do as well. But also, probably, one of my favourite bits, it's only a little thing, but I think it's awesome. You get to choose your own race number, which is fantastic, because obviously you get to do that in your in the...
What's yours, JT?
Mine's number 10.
Number 10?
What's yours, Elsie?
Mine is 91. Obviously, 91 being a very special number for me. That is the year my dad did the Tour de France. JT, any resemblance to number 10?
Number 10, I've just really associated with it all my life, because it's nothing to do with Formula 1, it's more to do with football, why I've got number 10, because I looked up to a footballer called Michael Owen. A lot of you might have heard of him, he was well known back in the day. When I was younger, I used to idolise him, and then once upon a time he came to play for my team I support, which was even better when I was younger. You know what I mean? So number 10's always been with me. Like all the football shirts I've got my name and it's got number 10 on. And I was tied between two numbers. I was tied between 10 and I was tied between 68. And I'll tell you, I'm not going to go into why I'll go to 68. I might go that for another time, but 68 was the number I was considering. But I did go for number 10. I might go for 68 at some of the stage, I don't know. But that is my number, and that is the reason why I did number 10. It's awesome.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Because I'm a very sad person. Like when I'm at home, I'll always just be talking to myself. Like that's what I used to do when I was playing F1. Like in F1 2014, there was no race radio. And the customization of your driver was very bland, very, very bland. So basically, you were sat on your bed or in your chair, wherever you play F1, just driving.
Yeah.
And I would talk to myself like I was a race engineer. Always, for example, if I'm Haas, I'll always put an American voice on. When Roman got when he crossed the line in Bahrain and got a finish, some American guy, I'm not sure if it was Gene Haas, but a very enthusiastic American guy came on the radio and was saying like, "Well done, mate, well done, you've got our second consecutive points." And I was like, I want that. So yeah, just doing that, and it just adds more of like, more of a personality to your character. It really is unbelievable. I love that point. Thank you for bringing that up, JT. That's great. One thing that I never understood though, in the other games, especially F1 2014 and F1 2015, let's just say that the two recent games, is the tyres. Now, for example, in this year is the first year that you have the pickings of the numerous sets of super soft, soft, mediums, hard, intermediate, and wet. Well, let's keep away from the dry compounds. You can actually see what colour they are and what they are, mediums, hard, super soft, stuff like that. In the olden days, it was just option and prime. And JT, I think that's quite, not very good, because if you're a Formula 1 fan, it gets you angry because you think, well, hang on a minute, I'm on the option tyres. What the hell's an option tyre? I want to be on the super soft. And then also, because obviously Codemasters will aim this game at like other people who drive. For example, like you've got other racing games out there, people will just get to play on a bit. So if you're not a Formula 1 fan, you don't follow Formula 1, but you get Formula 1, there's the game, and you're driving on the option tyre, and then you go down the pub and say, oh, well, I finished that race on the option tyre, and then they'll look at you and they'll think, well, what the hell are you on about? What tyre are you actually on? I just think that was a terrible thing, and then they finally put that in the game. So how great is that? You can actually choose your real tyres. Before you were just pressing option. Now you can choose which set you want to be on, and then also how worn they've been, how vital they will be, and also it's a recommendation from the team, which I also love. So the tyres it's a big step up, isn't it? Amazing.
It's really like massive step compared to F1 2015. I mean, like previously, my favourite F1 game so far was 2010 because of how real it felt. I was the first one of the series, and this one, I think, mostly this one is kind of a little bit aimed at those hardcore gamers who constantly play this, who know this game inside out, such as Arava and Tiamat Marduk, YouTubers like that, gamers like that, who play the game constantly. So that's good as well. But also for us, it gives us like something else to learn as well. There might be stuff in the game that me and Elsie don't know about. We might go, oh, that's quite, again, gives us some knowledge as well. And also for those who just might buy the game and just might learn something new about Formula 1 if you start to get into it. That is something very handy for you guys. So, recommendations would basically think, right, JT and Elsie, I don't know whether to buy the game or not. I've got £60, $60 in my account. I want to spend it wisely. Do I want to spend it on F1 2016? My guess is buy two, just in case one breaks.
Yeah,
buy
that
two.
Would be amazing.
It is really good. I would recommend it. Elsie, would you recommend it?
It is a fantastic game. JT, I just want to pick on one thing that you said, which is, you said obviously if you want to get into Formula 1, now if you said this about 2014 or even 2015, there's not much help in the game. But one of the things that I love, I mean, obviously, for example, we don't use it because obviously we know what DRS is, we know what parc fermé regulations are, things like that. But if you were in the garage, and I think, I don't know if you can turn it off, but I haven't turned it off yet. When you're in the garage, obviously you press A to go out, or I don't know the other controls. So you press A to go out, and then it'll come up and say Parc Fermé regulations, and then you'll have an OK button. Then you'll also have something like an options, to read it and actually read the Parc Fermé regulations. So there, instead of going on the internet and researching it, you can actually go from the game and see what Parc Fermé regulations are. And then when David Croft or whoever's talking about it, when you're watching Formula 1, you can go, I know what Parc Fermé is. I know when they're saying, they've been breached Parc Fermé regulations, I know what that is. Also, for example, DRS, obviously on lap 3, the race engineer, I don't know if it happens all the time, but like in Australia, obviously he gave a big talk about DRS is activated 1 second behind, there's activation zones, blah, blah, blah. And then the settings button actually said, click here for more. You click it, and then it comes up with a big paragraph. DRS, drag adjustment system, lists off what it is, what it does. So again, when you're watching Formula 1, you go, I know what DRS is, and obviously there's more in the game. I mean, on the laptop and stuff, there's more button settings. So technically, it's almost like a game and an internet or a handbook in 3-in-1. You know, so it's great for the user to try and get into it. It's such a help. So. Yeah, that's just one of the great things about the game.
It is absolutely vital. I mean, to be fair, one of my favourite gaming in the series. So, I mean, LC, I think have you played all the games in the gaming series from F1 2010?
I have, yes. So, when I got 2010, when I got 2010, obviously it was great. JT, it was fantastic. I'm just getting into it. I'm not sure when I got it, but well, again, I'm not sure when it came out, but it probably was near the end of the season, like they all have. So let's say I'd just been to Silverstone, see my first Grand Prix with JT, my first Grand Prix ever, with school. So I was just getting into it. 2011 came around, loved it. 2012 came around, was just in love with it. Then 2013 came around. Now, JT, you say 2010 was the best game. I'm going to say 2013 was the best game, and that is for one reason. And do you know what that is?
Classic version, I would have thought. Yeah.
Classic version. I wish they'd brought that back.
Yes.
2014, I wish they had it. 2015, I wish they had it. 2016. But to be honest, though, if they put it in 2016, let's say, the game would have been delayed. I'm not saying it would have. I'm just saying the game would probably have been delayed. And also, as well, to think that, you know, it's almost like they've got to share the time equally, so it might not have been as good. I don't know. Also, your opinions out there. Did you have F1 2013? Did you like the classic mode? Obviously, I loved it. JT, did you like the classic mode?
I didn't really use it as much, but obviously I played on it. It was good. It was very good. You know, I have the experience of driving along them old circuits and old cars as well to experience that. It was really, really fantastic. And yeah, well, pretty much F1 2010 was kind of like the benchmark of where I learned a little bit about Formula 1 and obviously grew from there. I mean, I think F1 2010 was my favourite one of the series because it was the first one and how real it felt, and it was just something different as well. And obviously disappointments of F1 2015, but F1 2016 is probably the real deal. And also as well, I was looking on some official gaming charting series, and I think everyone's going crazy about this No Man's Sky. It's like a new console game for Xbox and PS4.
Yeah.
It's crazy right now. F1 is actually above that. It's actually top of the list. I think it was the most down game either of the week or the month. It just went nuts.
Yeah.
And literally nobody talks about it because there's not many. You know, people like, oh, it's Formula 1. You just go around in one big circle. Well, Monaco is one.
But it doesn't matter. It's their loss.
Monaco is one funny-looking circle, mate. So that's all I'm going to say. But
that's NASCAR.
You know what I mean? People don't really rant about it. You don't really see many people playing it. It's probably one of the most underrated games going. But then again, if you're not into football, you're not going to play FIFA. If you're not into shooting, you're not going to play Call of Duty. So you could see it from that line.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, I have FIFA and I have COD, and I'm not a big either of those.
People are very different with games, but definitely, as I said, if you've got $60 in your wallet, buy F1 2016. I would definitely recommend it.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's just the realism of it. I think if I've got to use one word, it's realism. Also, as well, just one thing to mention that people might not meet. I don't know if you'd see it so much, but it definitely has a toll. Like mitigating factors around the car. For example, like when you get when you get like, you know, further into a race, the fuel load will go down, and stuff like that. The tyre will get worn, and there is a higher, like I don't know the word, but it's almost like you can feel that on the car.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So again, obviously having a controller or having a wheel. I don't know if that'll. I think the wheel actually. I think they were saying either a wireless wheel or whatever. I think you feel that a bit more in it, but it definitely will show that. For example, like when you turn around the corner, if you have less grip, you will, like, you know, it'll struggle with the car. I think the more so it's about the fuel.
Yes.
It's just that you can feel it. You can feel the car like heavier at the start and then lighter at the end, and just you know, it's incredibly real.
It's really in depth, and honestly, Codemasters have been under a lot of criticism recently about. Of how the game has been run and everything, because they got rid of career mode and the safety car and everything. It was really, really bad. But obviously they did a beta test in March that invited some people along to go down to the studios to test an early version of the game. They also did, I think they had like a free trial as well, where people again went down and had a go. I think it was about a month ago now. So obviously the community was involved a lot to bring this game forward. And the last time they did this was F1 2013, which is, as like Elsie said, and probably a lot of you guys as well, that was your favourite game of the series so far. So that it just proves that you do need to hear from the community to actually, you know, to build this game. And
exactly.
To compare, Codemasters, 2013 was great, but 14 and 15 without the community, it was just rubbish. You know,
They did 15 very much incognito. They just it was a rush.
I was about to say that, Elsie. It was a rush decision, really, because you had F1 14 out in October 14, but then by June or July 2015, this game was out.
I think that was the point, JT. I think now, in terms of why they rushed 2015, I think one part might have been that, for example, like FIFA. Well, FIFA 17, I'm not sure the date for that, but it's soon. Very, very soon. Might have even been out. I'm not even sure. I'm not a massive FIFA fan or anything like that. But what I mean is that obviously Formula 1 is released around the second part of the season, and for 14 it was very, very, very late. So I think half it was that, but the other half, JT, and I'm not too. Don't quote me on this word for word, but I'm saying that I think it might have been because obviously. PlayStation released the PS4 and then Xbox released the Xbox One. So two consoles came out. Quite late on. I forgot when it was, but a few years ago. But I think like 2015,
13, I think it was.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure, but maybe they were trying to just make a game that was just solely for those two consoles and not for the other ones. And I don't know. I mean, there's not really any words. I don't know why Codemasters did that, but it doesn't matter anymore. We're not going to dwell on 2015. I
didn't even finish the series because you remember I did my last two videos on the channel. Obviously, the last two few races of my Sebastian Vettel career mode. I started recording the third one about a week ago, and I literally I got bored. I couldn't do it. I really couldn't. I thought, you know what? But also, I did say that I was going to do an F1 2016 career mode. But however, I put on the page that I got the code Thursday, but I was away that weekend, so I couldn't play it.
Yeah.
So when I got back, it was quite late. I downloaded the game, played it, and I played about 2 or 3 races. So I might either start again and do a career mode on the channel, or I might just update yous where I'm at the start, and then might go from there. I don't know what to do yet, but I just want to enjoy. I want to enjoy the thrill and everything because it is. It is a very good game. I'm really, really impressed with this. 10 out of 10. Wait, 8 out of 10. I'll say for me.
It is absolutely unbelievable. The only problem I have with the game, JT, is the formation lap.
Yes.
Now, I was so excited about this. Now, this might be me just nitpicking, but for the formation lap, the idea is that the cars go around incredibly slow. They don't broadcast this on the telly, but I had a look at the German Grand. Well, I think it was the German Grand Prix at the Nürburgring in 2013. It took about 5 minutes for the race leader Sebastian Vettel to get round, and that's basically because they're going slow, they're warming up the tyres. I feel like the formation lap is such a rush. Now, my last race was in Russia, in Sochi. And it basically took about 2 minutes to get round, probably even less, because the car, I was almost going flat out. I wanted to go back, hang back, go really slow. It just wasn't really realistic. And the worst part is, it takes control, I'd say, about, 700 metres before your grid position. And that's it, it just takes control. It also cuts to black before then you start. But on the other hand, though, the race start, JT, is out of this world, isn't it?
I just love how... Obviously, you've got a manual start, so obviously you've got to hold the clutch in, build the revs, and then once the lights go, obviously release the clutch and away you go. It is amazing. To be fair, I'm one of them who got the anti-stall. Yes, that was me. I was like, I'll release it. Oh no, all day I've lost out the start. So I've already had that.
It is incredibly, incredibly fun though, because you can't just hold the revs. You can't just hold the right trigger. You have got to hold A, or the centre button, X I think it is for PlayStation, I'm not sure. You've got to hold the centre button and then release. If you don't, you just won't go anywhere. And that is just so fun. There's just nothing better than that.
That for all the Xbox users. I've got a PC, but I'm just using Xbox controller, so press
if
that
you,
and then go.
Yeah. But I've got to say though, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I've never done a fast getaway. I've got to say, like, when the 5 lights go out, it is a bit of a delay. But I mean, come on, I'm not a Formula 1 driver.
Exactly, we're not experts.
No. But for the average user, it is GT 8 out of 10.
Yes, 8 out of 10,
right?
definitely. Yes.
For me, 9, bordering on a 10. I mean, you can't beat this game. It's so fun. It is incredible. I love every single minute of it. Everything is great. They've improved the graphics. One last thing, people used to say that the drivers just looked incredibly low. I mean, Codemasters is just about Formula 1. It's just about driving. So they haven't mastered the crowd or anything like that. But the drivers, they just didn't look incredibly real. But yeah, this time they do. Obviously, you know, all the drivers have got the expressions on, like the facial expressions. Or the teams, the garages have done right. Even some of the big figures like Toto Wolff, Arriva Bene, Paddy Lowe, you know, even they have got their actual expressions are right. You know, so that's quite good. Obviously, like at the end of the race, you know, you have like Toto Wolff. Obviously, if Mercedes have won, you've got like Toto Wolff. You know, like congratulating them on the pit wall. So you've got things like that, and that's just, I mean, everything adds to that. So you've got the driving, that's great, but you've also got the graphics, just unbelievable. Everything about it is great. The drivers look good. Just, I mean, you can't fault. Yeah, it is really, really recommended. Yeah, so that was F1 2016. Obviously, please go and get it. It is so worth it. Obviously, yeah, I mean, there's no problems with this, no faults whatsoever. The next thing to mention is, the last thing is the Pirelli tyre choices for the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. Now, the drivers, as you know, will get to choose their tyres. The three compounds that are chosen for the Italian Grand Prix are the white medium tyres, the yellow marked soft tyre, and the red marked super soft tyre. Now, let's start with the race leader, Lewis Hamilton. The leader, Lewis Hamilton. He has chosen one set of the white marked medium tyre, 7 of the yellow marked soft tyre, and 7 of the red marked super soft tyre. We have 1 and 2s fluctuating until we get to the 2 Force India drivers who have chosen 3 sets of the white marked medium tyre. So that will play very, you know, because the medium tyres are the more durable tyres, so maybe Force India are hoping for lesser pit stops and more of the flat out driving. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg have Lewis Hamilton's chosen 5 sets of the yellow marked soft tyre, with Nico choosing 4 sets of the soft tyre. And then again, it's all 5 and 4s. But then we get to Force India, who, JT, they're really stepping out of what's normal. Nico Hülkenberg has chosen 2 sets of the yellow marked soft tyre, and Sergio Perez has chosen 3 sets of the yellow marked soft tyre. Romain Grosjean has chosen 3, and Esteban Gutierrez in the Haas has chosen 2. So yeah, again, make what you want of that. But heading on to the super soft tyre, this is the sprint tyre. This is what we'll see them leaving on Q2, Q3 in the elimination, getting into the good positions for the race. Lewis Hamilton has chosen 7 sets of the red marked super soft tyre, also with Nico Rosberg. We have the 2 Ferraris in 7 sets, the 2 Williams at 7 sets. Then we have the 2 Red Bulls at 6 sets. Nico Hülkenberg in the Force India has chosen 8, and Sergio Perez in the 7. Now, again, it's 6 or 7 fluctuating until we get to the 2 Haas drivers. Romain Grosjean and Esteban Gutierrez have chosen 9 sets of the super soft tyres. So again, that is the tyres for you for the Italian Grand Prix. If you don't understand the tyres too much, then don't worry, we'll keep you updated and all that through that. But it is really great to see, especially from them. The biggest one, JT, was Force India. Obviously, they're wanting to play what looks like the long game, holding out on the pit stops and going for a more like a cruising race, just hoping to conserve the tyre. So again, it's a conservation race for Force India. We'll have to see. It'll be great. Monza is just a track. No one car has dominated around there in the last few years. You know, you've had Mercedes, and you've had Ferrari, then you've had McLaren, then you've had obviously Toro Rosso in the early years of Sebastian Vettel. No one really knows around there. So that is the Italian Grand Prix, but obviously we've got Belgium coming up. And I'll just, to close this video off, I'll just give you the standings for the driver championship at the moment. In first place we have Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes with 217 points. That is a 19-point lead to Nico Rosberg with 198 points in second place. Then with 133 points in the distance is Daniel Ricciardo, the Australian driver from Red Bull Racing. Fourth place we have Kimi Räikkönen of the Ferrari. Now he is the leading Ferrari over 2 points of Sebastian Vettel, who was in 120 points in fifth place. Max Verstappen with 115 points is in sixth place with Red Bull Racing. So again, quite low by Max. But remember though, he had 4 races with Toro Rosso, so you know he's kind of, you know, he's 4 races down, if you like, from the other ones. Valtteri Bottas is in 7th place with 58 points, a long way into the distance. So again, you might think 6th place onwards. So sorry, 7th place downwards is a cut-off point, like, you know, to want to out of the driving runnings, if you like. Sergio Perez is in 8th place with 48 points, at 10 points behind Valtteri Bottas. Then another 10 points behind, so 20 points behind his teammate, and 10 points behind Sergio Perez, is the other Williams driver, Felipe Massa. Nico Hülkenberg in 10th place with 33 points. Carlos Sainz is the lead in Toro Rosso with 30 points. And in 12th place is Romain Grosjean in the Haas with 28 points. Fernando Alonso with 24 points in the McLaren. Kvyat in 14th place with 23. Button with 17. Magnussen 6. Verline 1. Van Dorn 1, who by the way is not even in Formula 1. And then we all are in the Zero Club. The amazing Zero Club. We all do. Right guys, so thank you very much for watching the F1 Debate Show. We hope you enjoy the Belgian Grand Prix weekend, and we'll catch you in our next video, baggers.